Okay, today we are going to make a creepy potion bottle. It's going to be used for Halloween or Harry Potter. We're starting out with a glass bottle that's already colored from the dollar store, which is perfect. And we will be using sandpaper to kind of scratch up the surface. And then we will be mixing paint and Mod Podge in a bowl and brushing it on with our foam brush. And when we are done, we will be adding a fun, creepy potion label. So to get started, I unwrapped the bottle, I took the plastic off, and I am going to set aside the cork so it doesn't get damaged in the sanding. I'm going to go ahead, I started a little bit already, and just kind of go in circles. And if you scratch too hard, you're going to take all of the paint off. So you don't want to do too much, but it's fun to give it just a little bit of texture, and then come in here and take off just the tops of this relief here, some of these patterns in the glass. Now that we've got the bottle all sanded, kind of unevenly, you don't want it to be perfect because it's supposed to look old and worn, we're going to add some paint into the glue. You want to do a fair amount so that there's some good color in the glue as you do it, so that when it dries it really looks worn. And as you paint, do it in fairly smooth strokes that get in the cracks or just on the edges. You don't have to do it all over. So if you want it to look like it's been sitting for a long time and it's really dusty, you can do a really heavy layer on top. It's kind of fun. I'm just going to go over most of it with this first light layer. And I'm just going to set it up and let it dry. Okay, now that our first coat is dry, you can see that we have a nice, just kind of brown coating on the whole thing. And I love how it's settled into some of the edges right here. So we're going to go through and do it one more time and focus on making it more on the ledges. We're not going to worry so much about making it even. I'm going to go, this is a dirty side, like something dripped down it. I'm going to do one dirty side with some drips. And then I kind of think that this would be very dusty from sitting for years on a shelf. So I'm going to add some more brown all the way around this top ledge. Maybe not make it even. You see how I'm sort of feathering that up, making it uneven. So that's how it would be in real life. It would not just be straight lines. And during this second coat, I've added a little bit more brown so that our aging is more apparent. And as it dries, you'll be able to see that second layer even more clearly. And remember, we're going to have the label put on too, so think about where you want that to go. And this is a really great spot for my label, so I may just keep that fairly empty for now. Okay, so I've gotten all the way around. A little bit uneven. You put a little more on this top edge. Okay, and then we are going to let that dry again. And you see that big opening for my label. Okay, now that it's not completely dried, but it's dried enough, we are going to go ahead and put on the label. And I'm just taking it straight out of my jar here of Mod Podge. And I'm glad that we left an area because the glue is still wet. So this gives us a nice place to put our label. We're going to put a layer of glue down first and press the label in, making sure that it's nice and straight. And these edges are not going to want to stick very well. That's okay, just kind of hold them down, and we're going to go ahead and go over the top with another layer of glue. And once the glue is dry, it won't matter because it'll just have a nice shiny finish. And we will antique it a little bit with some of our brown. So just held it down long enough for them to stick. And then we're going over the top with our last layer. And then I am going to go ahead with my brown and just do a little bit on the edges. You don't want to cover up much of the writing. You just want to look like it's been sitting there for quite a while. And here we are with our finished bottle. I think it looks pretty old, pretty worn, definitely creepy. Perfect for your potions class. Any spells you need to do